Hey YouTube, how you all doing today? I got a question that one of my leads asked me. So I thought I would come in here and answer it. And it's simple because I often talk about how we know what we have to do, but we can't get it done. And this was a good example. What she asked me was the following. Why is it that she can spend hours and hours and hours in Canva working on that material, and yet when it comes to developing, creating, or getting leads, she feels a little bit blocked, a little bit stuck, a little bit, I don't know what to do. But as she said, I do know what to do, but I just don't do it. And here's the reality, and I've made these little things, so bear with me, because I'm high tech. We're all about high tech here. No, we keep it simple. Right, clients. This is what we are all after, right? And if you are in my world, you're after clients, not just because it's how we're going to pay our bills, which is so vital, but it's more about you being able to help somebody fast track through the problem that they are experiencing, the challenge that they have in their life. Perhaps there's somebody who's truly struggling, and you know that what you do, which is transformational, will help them get from their A to B super fast, a lot faster than if they struggle and do it alone. That is why we do this work, right, for these clients. But here's the thing. If you don't develop what I call leads, and it's not just me, it's everybody, okay? If we don't have a lead flow mechanism, then we simply will not be able to have conversations. And what is a conversation? A conversation is you simply talking to somebody who has the problem that you will help solve in a meaningful way. So this doesn't necessarily need to be face to face, and it also doesn't necessarily have to be voice to voice. It can be via an email. It could be a comment in your social media. It could be within a sales event that you are running. Because at the end of the day, we must have leads so we can have these conversations so that we can create clients. If your memberships are not full, if your group programs are not full, if your one-to-one still has gaps, it's because we need to fix lead flow. And your brain probably doesn't find that easy. Your brain probably finds that highly uncomfortable, and it already imagines and suggests to you, oh, but what am I supposed to say to them? And what if they don't talk back? And what if they say no? And blah, 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 blah. I call that side of you, Larry, if you've been around me long enough, because the thought of selling and talking gets him into panic mode, gets him really scared. But putting him back into Canva, where you can create beautiful graphics and beautiful workbooks and keep tweaking until your idea of perfect is done, that gives you that dopamine hit where you feel like, oh, look, I created this beautiful tracking sheet and people can use it and it feels great. But if you don't have leads that you can warm up and turn into clients, nobody's going to be using that stuff, right? So we have to understand that. We have to give biology credit. Canva, predictable, safe, fun, dopamine. Look, I made a graphic. Leads, people, messy, unpredictable, uncomfortable. But we just accept that. Because if we do not send emails, if we do not nurture our lists, if we don't reach out and talk to somebody who showed an interest because we're hiding behind graphics that we're creating for Instagram carousels, or we're in there fixing our workbook for the 100th time, or another one I see quite regularly, updating the website because it's not quite right, then your programs, oh, pains me to tell you this, your programs are never going to fill up. Your memberships are always going to be underserved, and your one-to-one carriage load is going to be too light. So you've got to get over it. Okay. You can't carry on like this. You have to get over that. You have to focus on this. Leads. Leads is where everything starts, everything ends. If you do not have a lead funnel, you need to create one and you need to get to it. And you need to really, really focus your attention there. Now, I have created a lead execution booklet, which you can grab in the links below. That is going to explain this in a lot more detail. It's also going to give you some lovely little metrics that you can look at, because that's the important thing, right? industry statistics are there for a reason. And I particularly like numbers because numbers take the emotion out of it, right? So I now understand if I do not have 100 active leads in my pipeline to warm up, I'm not going to make sales. Why not? 100 active leads means usually I can talk to 10%. I can have conversations with 10%. And of that, I will typically solve or sell one person. So 100 to 10 to 1. It's 10%. Now, that is the lowest standard. Some people are at 20, 30, 40%. But I always think at the beginning, go to the average statistic. You know, the bell curve where we know that in the middle is what most average people will create, and then we have the exceptions on either end. Be in the middle to begin with. Don't overface yourself and make things harder until we have numbers that tell us, okay, no, you are somebody who is always converting at 30%. So if you get 100 leads, then you can get to talk to 30 people, which means you'll sell to 3. But notice the leads come first. So if you do not have enough people in your world, if you do not have enough of these amazing, beautiful clients that you can help support, fix the lead flow problem. As always, if you found this interesting and if you liked how I explained things, hit the subscribe. If you like this one specifically, give me a thumbs up because then it knows I need to keep creating content like this. And Amanda, I hope that answers why your brain prefers Canva over lead flow. Alrighty, take care everybody and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.